today on 15 on 15.
The Aruban government launches a transparent way to monitor sustainable development on the island. Plus, the Aruba Art Fair will be previewing soon in St. Nicholas. And ATEC holds a hackathon on the road to their international conference. Thank you for joining us on another edition of 15 on 15 right here on channel 15A TV with Daniela Piazzi. Let's get started with our latest local news topics. This week, the Prime Minister of Aruba, together with Web Aruba, Elmar, and utilities, unveiled the Renewable Energy Monitor, a public database updating the Aruban community on all developments the island is making towards a cleaner and greener future. During the unveiling ceremony of Aruba's real-time renewable energy monitor this week, the Prime Minister Mike Eamon reflected on the teamwork that has taken place and how this work is responsible for the success they have achieved so far. He congratulates all local experts who have been part of the project and encourages them to continue with their commitment to reach the goal of a sustainable Aruba within the next 4 years. The live information will be able to educate the Aruban community about how energy is really produced in combination with sustainable and conventional resources. It is important to remark that this is just the beginning and there will be constantly optimizations to further educate the community. The monitor will give insight to the local citizens and those interested around the globe on how each project contributes to the production of clean energy. The next step that Web, Elmar, utilities, and the government of Aruba are taking to amplify the solar production capacity of Aruba is the installation of panels on the roofs of primary schools and public buildings. The Kudawich Elementary School has a fairly large capacity of 175 kilowatts already completed, and the next school will be the Abraham de Veer School. Moving forward, recently the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dr. Idris Yala, visited the island to give a workshop on how his government has completely transformed Malaysia with a goal for 2020, much like our island. Malaysia's economy is now in transition. Confronted by the pressures of a contracting global economy and the threat of being caught in the middle income trap, in 2010 the Malaysian government unveiled the new economic model that was needed to transform Malaysia into a high-income nation by 2020.
What we did in Malaysia was we had the same challenges some 5 years ago, and we then began as a cabinet looking at all those issues. And then we identified the areas for us to focus on. And once we agreed those priorities, then we found a new way of working to get the government together with the private sector to come together to co-create a future for Malaysia in a new sort of way.
As a result, in 2010, the National Transformation Program was unveiled. Malaysia's transformation agenda is built on a platform of sustainable and inclusiveness. This ensures that all Malaysians benefit from the country's development and that economic growth is sustained over the long term. And although Malaysia can learn a lot from Aruba about sustainable energy practices, Dr. Yala shared his story with the island, which he believes can follow the same path.
I think the one area that Aruba can learn from our methodology is to really be even sharper at identifying the priorities. In many countries, not just in Aruba, but any other countries in the world, most governments struggle with wanting to do everything. And so what I'm trying to suggest to them is that the more sharp you are in identifying the priorities, the more chances are that you will then be able to create the most impact based on the government's budget. Because the government does not have an unlimited budget. So because with a limited budget, you then ask the question, if I spend this money on X and Y agenda, would that be giving us the most impact on the people of Aruba and the society in Aruba? And of course, there are choices that has to be made. That's the first thing. The second thing is that in Malaysia, we have a new way of getting innovative solutions in what we call a laboratory. So once we agree the priorities, what we suggest people to do is get the best and the brightest brains within the government and the private sector and the NGOs and put them in laboratories. And we call that labs. Labs because people are working full-time for 6 weeks to 8 weeks. And then the solutions are made there, the problem solving are there, then the analysis is done there, the experimentation is also done there. This is an entirely new way of doing it.
We'll be back with more 15 on 15 after a word from one of our sponsors. After the break, Aruba introduces an art fair to revive the St. Nicholas region. The local MMA champion Gregory Milliard recently attended the lecture of one of his biggest fans. However, it was a fourth grade presentation and the performance was definitely a memorable one. The island's champion Gregory Milliard visited the St. Anna grade school in the Nord area for a very special reason this week. A young student named Lixie Ritterstop was tasked with giving a presentation to her entire class about this local hero. During her speech, she told the story of this MMA fighter's education and professional career. The entire class lit up when the fighter walked in the room and were eager with questions for Milliard. As Lixie's presentation came to an end, Gregory gave a motivational speech to the youngsters, encouraging them to follow through with their education, their dreams, and to stay off the streets. He even taught the students a few self-defense moves. As the visit ended, the champion MMA fighter handed out autographs to the class. Turning the page, recently the Ministry of Tourism announced that Aruba has a lack of family-friendly activities to participate in. Curacao, for example, has an aquarium and swimming with the dolphins, while other islands in the Caribbean have swimming with turtles, stingrays, and even sharks. But how about swimming with pigs? Yes, you heard me right. Check out this island off the coast of Bahamas, famously known as Pig Island.
The Bahamas is known for its beautiful beaches and crystal clear water. But just off Staniel Cay in the Exumas, there's a tiny, uninhabited island, Big Major Cay. An island with pigs. And not just any pigs. These pigs swim.
Oh, this is amazing. I love it. It's the most beautiful thing I've seen in forever.
They don't seem like they belong in water this pretty, but they sure can swim, that's for sure.
As soon as they hear the boats coming to shore, the pigs head out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Their favorite meal? Well, they're pigs. They'll eat everything.
I wonder when enough is enough for these guys.
They're pigs. Did you know pigs could swim?
No, I had
Did you wonder?
Well, I thought they could fly too, so I mean...
Well, they don't fly, but swimming pigs are quite famous. From posing with celebs like Amy Schumer...
We're gonna be swimming with some pigs?
...to appearing on The Bachelor and the Angry Birds trailer. And they're even featured in a documentary.
These pigs are living on islands that are worth like $10 million. They have the best island in the world. People come to them, feed them. It's amazing. I mean, really, who wouldn't want to live like these pigs?
But just how did the pigs end up on this island? There are a few theories.
Actually, I heard a story that pirates or something dropped them off here. They escaped off the boat and then they just never left.
Daddy said that the Spanish boats came here a long time ago and that one of them might have been shipwrecked, so the piggies swam away.
So many stories as to why these pigs are here, but it turns out they are here for a far more modern reason. Remember Y2K?
Last minute preparations for Y2K.
They were talking about the millennium in the early 90s, and we're talking about computer crashing.
Y2K. Ow! And preparing for the world to end. Well, Wade Nixon and Don Roll brought the pigs to the island to start a farm for food.
So this was your protection for the millennium?
Yeah, exactly.
And it started out with just
4 females, 1 male.
And now how many?
Hundreds.
These pigs are a jewel of the Bahamas right now.
A jewel?
Yeah.
There's fresh water on the island and no shortage of food coming in daily.
They love to eat. The more you get them, the more they want.
And everyone comes here for their selfie with the swimming pigs.
It's a lot of fun to see something here that you would never see anywhere else. Yeah. No one came to my farm in Alabama to see my pigs roll in the mud. It's a little different.
For visitors, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
This should be the 8th wonder of the world because we're here swimming with pigs.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
And that's what we call the end of our story. For today, Kerry Sanders, NBC News, The Bahamas.
We'll be back with more local news after a quick commercial break. When we come back, ATAC holds an innovative startup hackathon. for staying with us right here on Channel 15 ATV. In 2015, Aruba introduced ATEC, a digital technology conference which welcomed techies and startups from around the globe. With the large success from their first event, ATEC will be once again taking place this September with speakers, startups, and investors from across the world. ATEC Conference was the first tech conference in the Caribbean in Aruba for startups across the world. During the event, innovative speakers got the opportunity to meet international speakers, investors, and startups. This year, ATEC Conference is added again with a 3-day tech conference hosted right here in Aruba. Leading up to this September event, the ATEC team held a hackathon for techies on the island.
So a hackathon is basically getting teams, forming teams of 4, and let them participate in a 24-hour stretch working on solving problems. And this year's problem was increasing on-island spend by visitors in Aruba, and if better yet, before they even reached Aruba. So the teams had a hard time or a tough task to work on in 24 hours.
The winning team of the hackathon event was Team MAD. They came up with an innovative way to travel to the island on a budget.
Their creative, disruptive, and innovative idea was pretty much getting the visitor to predetermine his budget, and within his budget, choose different elements in which he wants to have the expenses made. For example, in leisure or activities or in dining. And upon arrival in Aruba, you will receive a wristband, and this wristband will automatically state where you are and even make extra charges if you wish to make extra purchases on location.
On the road to the final event in September, ATEC will be holding several side events in anticipation for the 2016 conference.
The community in Aruba can expect more workshops, presentations on ATEC, more events where we get together and get to network about ATEC conference. And of course, during the conference, it's a 3-day conference from September 15 to 17. They can expect keynote speakers, panel discussions, fireside chats, workshops, breakout sessions, and much more.
Thank you so much for watching. For more information on ATEC, you can visit atec-conference.com. These were your local news updates and trending lifestyle topics. Be sure to like our 15 on 15 Facebook and Instagram page for all of your latest news updates. Also, don't forget to tune back in tomorrow night at 7:15 p.m. for more 15 on 15 right here on Channel 15 ATV. See you then.